Hey, Luke chapter 10 makes it clear that we need to serve God. We need to work for Him. We need to be about His business. In Luke chapter 10, it starts out with Jesus sending out 72 people to go on this little road trip for Him. And He's giving them instructions, and He's telling them that the harvest is ready. It's there. It's big. It's ready. But the workers are few. Pray that the Lord of the harvest would send workers into the harvest. Then He tells the story of the Good Samaritan, where He tells us, makes it pretty clear, that in order to be good neighbors, we need to practice aggressive love. It needs to be tangible love. It needs to be an expression of love that is real and true. And the message is clear. Do something for God. Okay, serve God, live for God, do something for Him. But then it seems like things get a little confusing, because He runs into some friends of His in verse 38, and it says this: Jesus continued from there towards Jerusalem, and He came to another village. Martha, a resident of that village, welcomed Jesus into her home. Her sister Mary went and sat at Jesus' feet, listening to Him teach. Meanwhile, Martha was anxious about all the hospitality arrangements. She was taking care of everything. Then Martha interrupted Jesus. She interrupted Jesus with her busyness. She was trying to work for Jesus, and here's Jesus, and she interrupts Him to make sure that He notices that she is working for Him. A lot of times we interrupt God with our activity for God. Woo! Chew on that. Now, she says to Him, Lord, why don't you care that my sister is leaving me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to get over here and help me. Little sibling rivalry happening. Jesus says, oh, Martha, Martha, you are so anxious and concerned about a million details, but really only one thing matters. Mary has chosen that one thing, and I won't take it away from her. Working for God is necessary. We get that idea all through Luke chapter 10. Work for God. Pray that people go into the harvest. Be a good neighbor. But it's not the most important thing. And it's easy for it to become our most important thing. We get so wrapped up in the activity of God that we miss the person of God. Our first priority, uno importante, has to be love and devotion to Jesus. We need to spend time with Him before we spend time for Him. Okay, let me say that again. Check this out. We need to spend time with Jesus before we ever spend time for Jesus. Spending time for Jesus is not our priority. We need to do it. Okay, it's part of the whole gig. But the most important thing is just to spend time with Jesus, praying, worshiping, listening, just being in His presence, just hanging out, digging into His Word, listening to what He has to say. Don't get so busy doing for God that you can't be with God. That's the thing. Okay, that's the most important thing, is just to be with God. Then we get to be for God. And that's cool, really good news. God bless you guys. Giddy up.